Indiana Beach. It's a beautiful resort destination with all the fun activities and modern comforts you could possibly ask for. There is over a half dozen wonderful resorts to stay at, like the Andrew, the Outrigger, and the one with the soda machine in the middle of nowhere. The amusement park is full of the most amazing thrill rides. It features a breathtaking new entrance and parking area. The rides are some of the best in the world, and they're sure to be open for business. The business of thrills. The actual beach features endless scenic sandy shores along sparkling water, in which you can rejuvenate and refresh yourself so you'll be ready for that next round of world-class rides. So Disney, what? And screw Cedar Point, get to the beach. Indiana Beach. Because there's more than corn in Indiana. It's been a long journey, but we have finally arrived in our final stop, Greater Chicago Loop. Coaster-made punks in the Midwest, as we called it at the time, whatever you want to call it. It was our big, great summer adventure this year, and we've been talking about it. We've been talking it into the ground. That's what we've been doing. And this is the last stop. It was not the last stop when we actually did it, but we said that earlier. This is not the order we did the parks in. We didn't take flights and crisscross the Midwest every day. We should have. Maybe next time we'll do that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Why not, Challenge ourselves even more. This is getting too easy. But the final stop is Indiana Beach.
Yeah, right in the middle of the state, just about, right?
Yeah,
so
upper middle.
It's difficult to get to, at least for us.
Yeah, this was our first time. It took all these years to get out there.
Yeah.
Because it's not near anything else. We just had to really force it.
And they actually have like a little park there, a little beach.
Well, do they actually have a beach?
In the middle of the state.
Are we going to say that? Do they actually have a beach?
They have a little area with some sand and there's water.
I mean, I don't know if it technically fits the full definition of a beach, but I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's sand and some water is the definition, then yes, it's a beach.
Sure. I'll give it to them.
If that's what they mean by more than corn, then I'll give that to them as well. Wow, this was our first time. One of the last parks of any status that we have not been to in the United States of America. There are still a couple. This is one of the last, though, and okay, it was fun. It was an experience.
Yeah,
I'm definitely glad we did it. I'm always glad we did it.
Oh yeah,
when it's a first, but it's interesting. From the moment you drive in, it's interesting. It's Monticello.
Sure.
Monticello.
Sure.
Monticello, however they say it out there. That's the town. It's Lake Schaefer is the body of water.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this was kind of a sad place.
Oh, I gotta come right out there and say that.
Because it seemed like it was a vacation destination for the locals, but many years ago, it was very popular, and it just looks very run down, and like it really hasn't been touched in a long time.
Had seen better days
for the most part. Yeah.
To be fair, it was very early June when we were there, so a little pre-season, a little pre-main heart of the season, at least. So maybe it picks up starting in mid to late June and certainly July. But yeah, the actual, what I guess were the resorts, very old style, old school, 70s, I guess, maybe 60s, maybe 50s, some of them.
Oh,
with that style where it's, you do have individual rooms with your individual outside entry,
So they're not bed and breakfasts, but they kind of have a little bit of that feel, this old school, like like the lobby is a house, and then the rooms are an extension of that house almost. Again, I don't know that any of these were actually homes, but just that feel that it invokes when you see these things. At least to me, someone who was born in the late 20th century and after this stuff was really mainstream. It's the way I look at it anyway.
And there were a lot of them. A lot of these old little hotels leading up to the park.
Yeah, that was.
So at one time, I mean, again, maybe it's still the case, but I don't really think so. But at one time, this place was really packing them in. And I say I don't really think that's the case anymore because there have been rumors the last couple of years that this park is just not doing very well financially.
Oh, that's right. Yes, at one point, I was really afraid we were never going to see this place.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'm glad we got to. But yeah, seeing it just on the approach, you park, and then you got to walk down this street, this lane, whatever the hell it is, and you pass all these hotels, and immediately it's like, wow, I kind of get why this place might be closing.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Didn't seem like much money has come into this place in quite some time. And it was just a ghost town, is what it really was. That's what really...
that too.
That was icing on the cake. And there was a ton of people walking up and down there. It still would have seemed lively enough, but it was just the fact that it was a ghost town.
And that goes for the park, too. There weren't a ton of people there that day.
No, there were not. So you walk past those things, and then... I don't know, then you like end up in the boneyard or something. The park never really officially starts. At some point, you're just in it.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Well, it's not free to enter the park, but the
Could have fooled me.
The booths, yeah, it looked like they had been moved recently, like they're doing some sort of construction on something.
It looks like they're getting a new entrance.
And yeah, so it was very messy.
But it's very much not complete. And yeah, it was just like a construction fence and
the Indiana Beach sign was just kind of leaned up against like a gate or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was something like that, or like propped up on cones, or it was something like that.
Something, yeah.
There's not even really a sign anymore, and it looks like what used to maybe be the parking lot isn't being used now. It's just like an overgrown field. I don't know what's exactly is going on. For all I know, they've been getting a new entrance for the last 10 years. I mean, I have no idea if it's ever going to be finished or what's going on, but
and you can definitely tell that they had moved that park entrance already a couple of times.
We could that we definitely figured out. There's still a place where there was an obvious ticket booth, like an original one, old one. I don't know if it's original for the park, but at least an older one that's now been abandoned that you walk past after Steel Hog. And we clearly saw on the ground underneath the older wooden coaster. I mix these names up.
Oh, Hoosier Hurricane? I think that's the older one.
Yeah, the white painted one. Underneath that station is a very not so nicely kept up area. But you could see on the ground markings that it was at one time, that was like, it says drop off or something, I think, and no parking. Mm-hmm. So I guess cars drove all the way that far at one point in that place's history.
Yeah, I guess so.
So even that, which is now just inside the park gates, essentially, was once leading up to the park. So it seemed like they moved the entrance back a couple of times in the history to where it is now. So they're expanding. I guess that's good.
I guess so, yeah.
So we get in. We made it. We weren't sure. It kind of puts you in a weird state of mind when you walk through everything that we did.
Yeah, well, some of these smaller, out-of-the-way parks, it's like that. It's a little surreal.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Dreamlike.
Like, am I really here? Did we really make it here? And is it really like this?
Is this really it?
Yeah.
Is this a joke? First thing you see is Steel Hog.
Yeah, which they clearly put outside the park entrance, and I guess they had to move it. That's what I think happened.
They had to move.
Like, the Steel Hog was, like, placed outside of the park entrance.
Well, outside of the the first and possibly second that we saw.
Yeah. And then they had to like move the entrance again.
As if that was the sole reason, maybe, for the most recent move. Well, possibly.
Yeah, because that was put in 2008.
Yeah. Well, and then there you go with my theory that yeah, it looks like they're building a new park entrance, but it could be like it's been that way since 2008,
Yeah.
for all we know, and they're still waiting to get some funds to do it, which is really sad. Yeah, it looks like Steel Hog was in what was part of that parking lot.
Right. Yeah.
So it's right there. It's towering over you as you just walk in, and so we did it first.
See your ride, do it.
In a situation like Indiana Beach, that's exactly how we operate. Especially since there was no crowds, so who cares? It's their newest ride, right? Their newest roller coaster. I was interested to do it. As we walked up, though, I was unsure, at best, as to whether this was going to be a good ride or not. As we sat in the car, we pulled what was essentially like the old Togo, those little half,
Yeah.
just comes down vertically and sits on the top of your shoulders, those little mini over-the-shoulder things. As those came down, I was thinking, oh shit. And I was going to get ready to brace myself because I thought this was going to be a rough ride. Is that what you were thinking? Were you thinking something similar?
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, at that point I was like, oh no. I mean, we know what this thing does. You can see the whole thing. It's got the beyond vertical drop. It's got a crazy reverse. It banks the opposite way that it should on one of the curves. It's got some really tight turns.
Yeah. It's extremely twisted.
Very twisted, very tight. So as soon as I saw that was the restraint, I was like, oh fuck. This is going to rip my neck off. So I was bracing myself for the worst from the very start.
Yeah. It looks like if Dr. Seuss got a hold of a mouse or something. Dr. Seuss designed mouse.
Oh, maybe they should have put one of these in Seuss Landing.
I don't
No.
that's what it looks like to me anyway.
Yeah, it's well, it looks like an illustration in a kid's book like that.
Right, it doesn't look like a real ride.
That's right. It's just an illustration. It's like this is not how rides. Physics really couldn't accommodate this design, but this would either kill people or the things would fly off the track or whatever. But this is just an illustration. It's just for fun in a kid's book. Yeah, it has that look to it. It does. It looks kind of unreal. So the fact that this is very real, and then when you just get on it and the restraints are not very comfortable to start with, it's kind of wow. I'm not too happy about this. But then the ride starts, and you come down that first beyond vertical drop, and I was pleasantly surprised. It was smooth. I didn't get banged up.
No.
It was smooth and kind of fun. It's good.
Yeah, it's a fun ride.
It's actually a fun little coaster.
SNS doing this was the first
What is
one
this?
of these.
What do they call these?
I think it's an El Loco.
This is the El Loco.
Yeah, El Loco.
Okay. Because it's getting to this point now where I have all these ridiculous names for ride models in my head. It seems between SNS and Gerstlauer, at least. Intimate a little bit too nowadays. They just like to come up with these ridiculous names. And I know I read them and I come across them, but I don't know what's what. For real. Yeah, I've heard El Loco. It's like Zaxman, Eurofighter. It's all these weird names.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they're not descriptive of the actual ride experience. It's just a weird name they pull out of their ass.
What is what? Is Screaming Squirrel one of them, or is that just a specific ride?
No, that was one. That was an
it's
SNS.
always ridiculous names. 4D, Free Fly.
That's all SNS. Yeah, SNS likes the wacky
It's
names.
mostly SNS then, okay.
Yeah.
Or no, Free Fly. Is there 4D Free Fly and Free Fly? I don't know. It's just they go fuck your fly. I'm sick of these names. When I was coming up,
Yeah.
it all made sense. Mega Looper, floorless, inverted, stand up. I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, well, B&M is very straightforward with that.
But now these names, it's just come on, guys, cut it out. Anyway, So Steel Hog, it's fun. It's not a ton to say about it, I guess. It's fun.
Yeah.
though. It was fun enough that we did it again.
Right.
We bookended our time at that park with that ride.
Yeah, the only other thing I want to mention is I believe this was the first coaster that SNS made after they bought up Arrow's technology.
Okay, so the first tubular steel rail roller coaster.
For them, I believe it was.
Not that thrust air business
No.
that we recently spoke about on the Paramount episode.
Oh, no, that wasn't the first tubular steel coaster that SNS
No?
did. Because they did Powder Keg before that.
Oh.
Powder Keg opened in 2005 after being modified from different ride, Premier, I don't know,
That
part coaster, part
part.
flume, shoot the chutes ride.
Yeah, that weird thing. So it's been in its current form for 10 years.
Yes.
Wow.
But this is the first original design from them after acquiring Arrow's technology.
Okay.
So this ride has sort of an interesting history, lineage.
Okay, even at the time, I did not think about that. And I'm Mr. Arrow. But I did not think about the Arrow connections. I mean, it's not an arrow at the end of the day, but
No,
there is a
true
little,
arrow, no.
there is some lineage, as you
Yeah.
mentioned.
It's a fine ride. I wouldn't really care either way if more of these get put in. I know one was just put in Vegas, in Adventure Dome. If we saw more of these, I'd be okay with it, but if they didn't make any more, I'd be okay with that too.
I feel the same way. Yeah, Vegas also very far for us, even further actually, than Indiana. And I'm fine. Yeah, it was fun, and it was fine to do it when we did it. But whatever. if I never see another one again, I'm good either way.
Right.
All right, so we got our Steel Hog rides, and we turned around and left. Right, that was it. I don't know. I didn't see any other rides. You pass these little makeshift booths. You see that ride, you do it, and I don't know. Is there more rides here? The fuck knows.
If you walk a little bit farther,
Oh, there was a path? Oh, I must have
Yeah.
missed that. Oh, darn. Now I gotta go back one day.
they got a couple other rides. This park actually has a lot of coasters for being such a tiny park.
It's got a lot of rides, period.
Yeah.
They actually have a pretty extensive lineup. You pass Steel Hog and you turn left, and then it's still kind of one way for a little bit, and then finally you're like in the park proper. Then the park opens up, and then you got your Hoosier Hurricane, Cornball Express. Those are kind of right there in your face.
Yeah. Log Flume.
The Flume also, that's right, the Flume. But they also managed. I mean, they have quite a number of flats, a bunch of kiddie rides, and also some adult flats. They managed to pack in a train, anti-cars, a sky ride, a splash battle, a dark ride, Ferris wheel. There's another coaster we'll get into in a second. An old Schwarzkopf. There's a walkthrough haunted house. There really is a lot packed into a small area. So they are good at that.
Plus some water rides.
Oh, there's actually kind of a water park. Sort of.
Yeah.
Half a water park. or so. But yeah, there is. There's also a bunch of water slides. So there's a lot to do. The big hit for us, we'll just start with this, I guess, was the fact that Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain was not open. And if you know anything, if you follow the industry as a whole throughout any summer, you know it has never opened this year.
Yeah. So beyond our control.
So it wasn't like even a bad day or a bad week that we picked. It was a bad season that we picked, apparently.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
So that was very unfortunate because I was very much looking forward to that ride. It is, of all the things, they have a few unique things there, but that was the most unique of all. And we didn't get it.
All right. But what did we do then?
Well, coasters. Go through the rest of the coasters. Besides Steel Hog, we just talked about that. We did Hoosier Hurricane. That was the next one.
Who's your hurricane and what does he do?
Yes. What was that? Kindergarten Cop?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Hoosier Hurricane was okay. It was fun.
Yeah. CCI coaster
What year?
from '94.
I remember when I found that out. I was surprised. It feels like a much older ride though.
It does.
It looks like it because it's like the white. It's painted white. It's got that older look. It feels like a ride from the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, because it's just a straight out and back.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like CCI at all.
No, yeah, because CCI like to throw in some unbanked curves and try and do, they like to spice it up. They don't really do straight out and back.
Well, it's just regardless of the path, it's just that their rides usually have some edge, some elements
Right.
to them, some difference. Where that was just very basic for them. It was good. It was fine. Not great, just good. I have no problem with it though.
Well, I guess that makes sense. That was one of the first ones they did.
All right, so they were feeling out the process.
Yeah, that was number 3 for them.
3. It was 1 and 2.
First one, Kingdom Coaster at Dutch Wonderland.
Oh,
Did you did that?
I've done
guess.
that,
You must
yeah.
have, And I'm surprised to see this actually. Outlaw at Adventureland, Iowa.
Oh, that came before.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Oh, but that was a twister.
Yeah, right. That's
so-
like totally their style.
So, all right, I guess this is. I mean, I guess the space requirements had a lot to do with it. That they just had to do a skinny out and back, or just perhaps Indiana Beach.
Wanted-
a class. We want something that's going to
Yeah.
feel like it was from the. Maybe that's what they ordered. They wanted something that felt like it was from decades before.
Hey, and they got it.
Yeah, and it works. It's not not the greatest, but it could have had a little more pop air. We tried both front and back, and it just it approached, but it never got there, in either position. It just I wasn't getting that really good air. It was just a little bit here and there. It's just okay, but a fun ride. Then we survived the Tigger. I don't know what's up with that name, first of all, but whatever. Just full honesty, one of the rare times where I actually was not really enjoying the experience at all and was just hoping we survived. For real.
Yeah, that was just a little bit scary, just a teeny
It's
bit.
unnerving. Is
Yeah.
a good way to put it, yeah.
Right before we hit that first drop, I was thinking in my head, "Oh shit."
Yeah, because this thing, it looks like it's rusting apart. I mean, I guess they maintain it. I don't know. You can't be sure in a place like this if they're even really checking the bolts anymore. And
It was extremely rattly.
oh god, oh yeah, it's like one of those your balls vibrate for an hour afterward.
Yeah, it was one of those.
Such vibration that shoots through you, and you sit on the floor of it.
Oh yeah.
The way you sit, it's a what Jetstar, Starjet
Yeah, just start.
model. So it's one of the old Schwarzkopf Jetstar
Yeah.
models. And those are kind of nuts anyway because they're just so small. The track is so small. It's like a small narrow gauge track. It's like it feels almost like a toy. You're like riding on a toy, a life-size toy, and it feels like it's going kind of too fast for itself anyway. At the bottom of a couple of those drops, and I just in my head every time we hit full speed, I just see us flying off the track. It's very unnerving. So I don't know. I was just glad we survived. Maybe I'm getting old. I don't know, but nah. I think even 10 years ago, those kind of rides freaked me out. I don't know. Those are just bogus. That should
The
not.
Jetstars.
That should not be there. Yeah, that's come on, guys. This park has better stuff than that now. They don't need that anymore.
Yeah. Well.
I'm surprised they didn't just pull that out and put Steel Hog there.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they really wanted to keep the coaster count up, I guess. But
I guess so.
only thing about that, or the only other thing, is there's an awesome dueling moment at the top of the lift of Tigger. It duels with Cornwall Express. Because Cornwall Express, it's like middle of that ride. Middle, almost toward the end, I think. But it's coming at it passes right next to the top of the lift hill track on Tigger, and they're going opposite directions. It's coming at each other. So if you happen to time it or get it just right, where you're on one train and it's right by the other, it's really awesome. It's a great little pass-by moment. We got it on Cornball. Our first ride on Cornball, there was a car just cresting the top of the lift on Tigger, and you just zoom right past it. And it looks like you're going to hit it for a second. It's really awesome. It's a really cool dueling moment.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I really like that. So look out for that if you're there. Hopefully you'll get one. Other than that, Tigger is garbage. It should be thrown out. We survived, though. So, last and certainly not least of the roller coasters at Indiana Beach, the appropriately named Cornball Express. Right? Because you just thinking cornballs.
Yeah, it's for all those cornballers out there.
Cornball Knobbers. The new ride next year at Silver Dollar City. Yeah, no, the name is stupid.
Okay.
But you know what? I kind of do like it because it's not Cyclone or Hurricane, or at least do something atypical. And Indiana Beach is a wacky park anyway, so what better place to have a wacky name than that park?
Sure.
So actually, I kind of do like it. I'm fine with that name. It's and I know it's the whole corn and Indiana connection, and it's Cornball Express. Another CCI. So they work with CCI again. A bunch of years later. What year was this?
This was 2001. This is actually interesting because I'm just kind of looking at this right now. So they got Hoosier Hurricane. That was one of the first CCIs. And then they got a couple of the last CCIs. So Cornball Express was towards the end of CCI's run
Oh, okay.
in 2001. And then they worked on Lost Coaster of Superstition Mountain.
They did like the retrofit.
Yeah. And that was like the second to last thing they did.
Wow. Okay. Well, it was a short lifespan for CCI.
Yeah.
It was.
That's crazy. Not even 10 years?
Yeah.
They did a lot of coasters in that span of time, though.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, definitely another episode for another time, but not an uncommon story in the theme park industry. You hit big, you do a shitload of coasters in a few years, and then you burn out and you're done.
Interesting.
It's happened quite a few times. The fact that we've had B&M for so long now is pretty unique. You know, and Intamin's been around forever.
Oh, yeah, they've been around a long time.
But that's more times than not, it is that sort of quick rise and quick burn. So
Yeah, we'll have to do that one day.
yeah, we'll put that on the list for our future episodes for your enjoyment. So don't look it up. We'll do all the work for you.
So between Hoosier Hurricane and Cornball Express is actually the smaller of the two.
Now
Not
that's
quite as
interesting.
Yeah, it's not quite as tall, doesn't go quite as fast.
It's very interesting.
And it's not an out and back. It's typical CCI. They have kind of a twisty layout.
Yeah, well,
Not banked. They don't bank anything.
yeah, it's the twister of the park. They
Yeah.
got their out and back, and then years later they did the twister. Interesting that it's not bigger. Usually, parks would want to do that. You know, especially when you're building the same type. Like you have a wooden coaster already, so now your second wooden coaster, to kind of justify it, usually it would be bigger, taller, faster than the one you already have.
Right.
So that's interesting. I have to believe space limitations and probably money limitations had to do with that. You know, they really weren't worried about bigger and better.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think Indiana Beach was ever really officially in the Coaster Wars. You know, I don't think they ever really got in there and were fighting the battle.
Not really, but they definitely wanted to add
They didn't want to.
coasters in particular. They put a bunch
they
in.
didn't want to become insignificant and
Yeah.
close up either. They did add these two coasters, and then Steel Hog many years later. So Cornball Express, wow, it wowed me.
Cornball Express is awesome.
I was impressed. Cornball impressed.
How many times did we do it? Like 6 or 7.
We couldn't stop. Yeah, I don't even remember now, but we couldn't stop. We really couldn't. We kept going around, and it was a long walk up. You must have to walk up like 5 flights of stairs to get to this thing. It's really high. It's like a 50 foot high station. So you had to work for it, and we did. And not only that, but we were kind of on a tight schedule that day.
Yeah, I know. I kept saying
We
like,
had places
"All right,
to be.
we got to go because we had to drive a couple more hours to go. I don't even remember.
We were ending the day. Our hotel was in outside Cincinnati.
Oh, we wanted to do Jungle Gyms. We had to get there before that closed.
We were going to Jungle Gyms that night, and they closed at 10.
Oh, that's right. We just made it.
We
too.
had to get to Jungle Gyms and food, Cece's.
Oh, we had to eat dinner. That's right.
And they both closed at 10, so we had to get into there, or just north of Cincinnati. I don't know, by whatever 8:30 we wanted to be there by or something. And it's from where Indiana Beach is. That's like a 3 to 4 hour drive.
Yeah,
We had a lot of driving
wild.
to do. So you're still north of Indianapolis at that point.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
We hadn't even passed Indianapolis. So yeah, we were running low on time, but we couldn't get away from that ride though.
Yes, right.
It was so good. What a ride. Back every time in the back car, essentially one of the back rows. Oh, it's kick ass.
Yeah, nonstop. Everything is great on that thing. There really wasn't a dull moment.
It's short but sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right off the drop. The drop is so steep. At least it seems that way. I guess because it just kind of turns. It's a turn drop, but it just kind of turns.
Yeah, there's a little bit of turn
It makes
there.
the turn really quick at the top, and then just woof, and then just like down. Great air on that first drop. Just
Yeah. Well, throughout the whole ride,
Jerks you out of
that's
your
what
seat.
I couldn't believe because it's a twisty type Woody, but there's so much air.
Yeah, a lot of air moments. Yeah, air galore throughout the entire ride. Just a great layout. It fits into an almost impossible area to fit a roller coaster in.
Yeah.
They figured it out though. It just winds around everything that's there, and yet it's still awesome.
Yeah, CCI really worked some magic on this one.
So the drops are great. Yeah, the helix, not really banked, almost not banked at all, barely banked, as I said, which was a funny thing as we did this. We kind of realized that that's sort of a thing that CCI does.
Oh yeah, they don't bank very much at all.
Like we mentioned it, right, with Legend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know why it took us till this year to finally realize this, but they did that a lot. So this has that. Honestly, and I know we were talking about it when we were there. I think it might be my favorite CCI.
Yeah, it's mine. I'll say it. I mean, Boulder Dash at night is incredible.
That's the one. That's the tough one. Yeah.
But Boulder Dash during the day is just all right.
Yeah, it's Cornball Express. Yeah, it's better than Boulder Dash day, but not better than Boulder Dash night. So it's a really weird scenario.
Well, it's like at that point it becomes air versus out of control speed.
Through the woods. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Cornball Express. Yeah, favorite CCI with an asterisk.
Yeah.
It's kind of, but if I'm in Lake Compounce at night, then it's not. But that's highly specific.
It is.
So it kind of is, or they kind of share the number one spot then, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, they really have to.
Such a shock.
Oh,
Neither one of us.
nobody could have predicted
Yeah,
this.
neither one of us expected that one bit. This is a ride I've never heard not really much anything about.
Oh no, nobody talks about this thing.
And then for us to get there finally after all these years and ride it, and then it's actually really awesome.
Yeah.
I was blown away. I was like, holy shit. This is where CCI did their best work, right here.
Right. I mean, this comes up again and again for us. You know, with these rides that nobody talks about. You know, every so often we come across one, and it's like, how come I've never heard anything about this? This thing is awesome.
Yeah, people should be talking about this. Well, we're talking about it now. We're doing the work. Cornball Express, if you can get there, it's awesome. I like Cornball Express better than any roller coaster at Holiday World.
Yeah.
Like, if that was Raven, I would get it more.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Then I'd get why Raven was such a huge ride in the 90s at the time. But yeah, Cornball Express, much better than Raven, and I liked it better than Legend.
Oh yes, easily.
And of course, Voyage has its own problems. Yeah, Cornball. Who would have thought?
So those are the coasters of Indiana Beach.
Those are the roller coasters. Well, except for Superstition.
Oh right,
But
can't
whatever.
comment. Yeah.
We can't comment. We did. It's funny. You could clearly see the old track and how CCI just
Yeah.
put their track on top of that, but the old track is still there.
That's funny.
So
Yeah.
you could see that. At least for the part where it veers off the mountain building structure and it goes out and back like in the middle of the antique car track, and you could clearly see that. So that was fun.
So what else is there to say about Indiana Beach?
They love like crappy looking iron fountains. Those were everywhere. We saw it later as we were leaving. They had pictures on the walls of one of the buildings of like the park history, and it looked like, I guess, the whole thing pretty much started in the 50s, 60s, somewhere around that time. So yeah, it has like an early 60s vibe. Some of the old stuff that has been updated. So I guess that was considered nice looking at that time, but it just looks ugly as shit.
Yeah.
These old
yeah.
iron fountain structure things they have everywhere, and those weird tiki heads
Yeah.
out in front of, I guess,
Two giant tiki
what
heads.
was the main restaurant building. They have that. We also realized while we were there, out in the back of the park, there was a miniature golf course.
Well, I think there were two,
Oh, two, really?
right? There was one on like either side.
Oh,
Of
yeah,
the
it was
park.
something like that. Yeah, and there's some remnants of one of them left. You can see it from the train. The train turns around. The train actually stops.
Yeah.
There's actually two stations.
Actually, two stations. Yeah.
That's shocking. It's actually a functional transportation ride.
And the Skyway.
Yes, that's right.
The Sky Ride. I don't know if it was called Skyway, but
Yeah, whatever it was called. But
The Sky Ride.
The ski lift style sky ride.
actually two stations. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I
For
guess
that
that's
tiny little place.
I guess that's a plus still, but
Yeah. Oh, sure.
weird. And what else did we do? The dark ride.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah. What else did we do? Moving right along.
That weird flat ride. I don't
Viper?
remember.
That sucked.
Yeah, it was just bad.
All right.
We
What-
did
what
not
else?
do the walk-through haunted thing because it was upcharged. For whatever reason,
Yeah.
they wanted you to pay more
it was
for that.
upcharge.
I guess they must have a live actor in there.
A live actor.
They must. Otherwise, why would you
One.
pay for... Why would you charge for more?
Yeah. I heard after the fact that it's very good.
Oh, really?
Yes. I heard that I made a mistake by not doing it.
Oh.
Apparently, we should have done it.
What's so good about it?
I don't know. I didn't want to find out in case I didn't get a chance to do it. If you ever go back,
Okay.
I heard it's very good.
Flume was fine. Nothing to write
Oh,
home
the
about.
flume was, yeah. And they had the signs, like, warning that the boat will fall back on the
Oh,
chain if you have more than one boat at a time on the chain. It kind of was just like, maybe you should have that sign, like, in the maintenance area in the back.
Yeah.
And maybe it should just be, like, in the training manual for the ride ops.
Right.
Why should I be seeing this, though? I don't want to know this. I don't want to know if this thing is so fragile that if they make one little error, the whole thing comes down. That was weird. The Galaxy sign for the former Galaxy roller coaster that they had, that they still have a sign up for some reason, because they bolted it to the side of the water slides, and I guess they
Yeah.
didn't want to take it down or couldn't figure out how to do it. And from the sky ride, when we were elevated, we could see the pad where the Galaxy was. It's clearly obvious.
Oh, yeah.
But that recently was removed. And scrambler cars for planters.
Oh, that's right.
That's all I'm going to say about that. So it's a fun day. Or 2 hours.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, interesting is a better word. Fun because it was our first time. And it was an exploration. But if they don't add anything, and if Superstition never opened again, yeah, I don't know if going back for us would be that fun. And Cornball is awesome, but it's just one coaster. And then the Hog is fun and formidable, but I don't know. The fact that it was our first time and it was all new and kind of wacky made it fun. But I don't know if I really want to go back there otherwise.
Really, I just want Cornwall Express, like in my backyard.
It's one of those. It's right there with Avalanche from the Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, okay.
Hellcat. It was J2. I had to think for a second. J2, now called Hellcat at Clementon in New Jersey. Is there more?
Like awesome coaster.
Awesome small coasters that like could fit in your backyard. Or
Yeah.
if you feel like it could. It really probably couldn't, but
No, it definitely couldn't.
but it has that feel though. It's like those kind of rides. It's just they're just really fun. I guess Wooden Warrior to an extent. Wooden Warrior
that
not
is
as
fun.
good as the three that we're talking about,
Yeah.
but it's fun. Yeah, where you just want to have it in your backyard. Anything else? Final thoughts?
I mean, I hope the place sticks around, especially for the locals. It'd be nice if they had some place
Oh
to
yeah,
go.
that's interesting. There's a bridge, a pedestrian bridge, like dedicated just for the locals. Apparently,
yeah.
Like, it just goes into the nearby neighborhood,
Yeah.
so they can access the park directly. That's interesting.
I understand this place is very out of the way, but if you're traveling around and you think you can fit it in, or if there's the possibility to fit it in, you should go check it out.
Well, if you're an enthusiast, you should check it out,
Yeah.
no matter what. At some point, make it happen because there's enough worthwhile things there.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Anti-cars. We did those.
Oh, anti
Were
cars
those
over
the ones
water?
that's the steering didn't work?
Yes.
That was it. So you couldn't even steer.
Nope.
Just hit the gas and go.
They were gas powered.
But they were gas powered, yeah. And the entire track built over water.
Yeah.
It was just like a wooden boardwalk track over water.
Yep.
Really bizarre. But they got it in. They really wanted antique cars. They made it work. And the train tunnel, complete with animatronic.
Oh, that's right.
An animatronic Grim Reaper.
Boocifer. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a Boocifer. Yeah, probably a Sally. Looks like it might be.
It totally looked like that style.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, the dark ride that they did have, the Den of Lost Thieves, was definitely Sally.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that was their handiwork.
Ooh,
The figure
really?
on the outside, and yeah, that was Sally.
Oh,
That I
wow.
know for sure. So yeah, I guess that park works with Sally. There's no corn. After all this corn talk, there's more corn. There's more than corn in Indiana, but there's no corn in Indiana Beach.
Oh, that's interesting. You bring that up. Yeah, I don't remember seeing corn there. Maybe they had it. I don't know.
Okay, Indiana Beach. There's more than corn, and thanks for writing. There's more than corny comments. There's bad jokes. Thanks for writing. My favorite roller coaster is the Cornhole Express. I can't wait for the new 800-foot tall Polar Coaster to open up in 2016 at my favorite resort destination, Indiana Beach. There's more than corn in my hole. Ooh, there's me in Indiana. There ain't no peaches, that's for sure. Indiana, what a humdinger. Why is there more than corn?
Holy good God, this is awful.
We just want to say here, thanks for listening to all of our summer episodes and joining us coaster-made punks in the Midwest while we took the greater Chicago loop. Thank you again, and thanks for riding.
You don't care about yourself. Why would you care about anybody else?
All right, be cool here. Cruiser, Mr. Muffy, we're here at the Squared Circle, Chicago, Illinois. And it is fucking great. Awesome s'mores wontons. Probably the best shake I've ever had. A Twinkie shake, spiked. We got the Dude Vibe shake over here. White Russian, jacked up. And we got our, oh, there's another s'mores wonton, half eaten by Mr. Muffy. We got some Schlitz.
and a round of Old Style, only in Chicago. If you want a watered down beer in the Windy City, get yourself an Old Style. And then the best part of all, Monday Night Raw. It's live. All right, it's a great experience. You gotta see it. Squared Circle. Excellent.
Oh my god. Like.
All right, thanks for riding. Thanks for riding. From the Squared Circle, signing off.